My landlord accused me of exaggerating the mold issue, so I invited a health inspector to our next meeting. When I rented the basement apartment on Crescent Avenue, Dimitri claimed the dark patches on the bathroom ceiling were just old water stains. Purely cosmetic, he said, with that dismissive shrug landlord's master. The previous tenant was sloppy with showers. 3 months later, I was coughing blood. The patches had spread across my bedroom wall like a deadly map. My clothes reeked of dampness. I woke gasping, throat burning. Showing Dimitri photos, he laughed. "You Americans always whine, it's nothing." I started documenting everything. Time-stamped photos, videos of water leaking during rain. I kept a symptom log and got medical records showing my lung decline. When I demanded fixes, Dimitri's tone shifted. "You're creating issues," he said. "Find another place if you're unhappy." That's when I called the health department. Inspector Vaughn was thorough and caring, unlike Dimitri. During our phone call, I described the problem while snapping more mold photos. "I want to be there for the inspection," I said. "Unusual but allowed," Vaughn replied. "When's your landlord meeting?" "Thursday noon," I answered, smiling for the first time in weeks. Dimitri arrived on time, coffee in hand, smirking. He began calling me a problem tenant, then noticed the stranger at my table. "This is Inspector Vaughn, County Health Department," I said calmly. Dimitri paled, dropping his mug, which shattered on the floor. "There's no issue here," he stammered. "She's lying." Vaughn opened his testing kit. "We'll see." Vaughn's tools found toxic black mold throughout the apartment. He swabbed samples, photographed violations, and noted code breaches I didn't know existed. Dimitri trailed him, offering weak excuses. "The prior tenant never complained," he said. "She died of lung cancer 6 months after moving out," I replied. Vaughn paused. "How do you know?" I showed him her obituary online. She tried breaking her lease over health concerns, but Dimitri threatened to sue. For an hour, I watched Dimitri's negligence unravel. Vaughn issued violation notices, condemned the apartment, and Dimitri owed me damages. As Vaughn left, he handed me his card. "I need that obituary and any tenant history." That night, researching Dimitri's properties, I found something chilling. 7 buildings, 4 tenant deaths in 3 years, all respiratory-related. Next day, I met affected families at a Cedar Avenue cafe. Beatrice Holloway, 70s, cane in hand, arrived with her daughter Francine clutching medical records. "You have info on my husband's death?" Beatrice asked. "Walter died last October in Dimitri's Maple Street unit," I said, sharing my research. Francine showed records of Walter's breathing issues post-move-in. The doctor blamed age. "It was mold," I said, "like in my place, like in all his properties." Beatrice dropped her cane. Dimitri called those bathroom patches water stains. "Cosmetic," I quoted. Francine nodded, shaken. I showed my spreadsheet, 7 properties, 12 units, all with mold complaints from city records. 4 tenants died. Walter was third after Dollars Montgomery and Timothy Chen, both with lung issues. "We should have fought harder," Beatrice said. "You couldn't have known," I replied. Dimitri hit it well. Soon, David and Patricia Montgomery, Dollars' family, joined us, followed by Timothy Chen's widow, A.I. Lin, and her son. By 11:30, we moved to a community center room. David shared photos of mold from Dollars' unit, identical to mine. The inspector confirmed toxic levels after her death, he said. "Too late." A.I. Lin's son added, "Dad tried breaking the lease." Dimitri threatened lawsuits. The pattern emerged. Dimitri targeted vulnerable tenants, elderly, immigrants, single parents, renting moldy units, dismissing complaints, and intimidating leavers. "We need the police," Francine said. "I've called Detective Ramirez," I replied. "She's coming soon." I didn't mention my contacts with Channel 7, the state attorney general, or a landlord negligence lawyer. Detective Ramirez arrived, taking detailed notes as families shared stories. "This is complex," she said. "Possible charges include negligence, endangerment, maybe manslaughter. I need evidence." "I'll get it," I said. That afternoon, I told Dimitri I wanted to settle privately. We met at his rundown office next morning. I wore a wire. His office smelled of mildew, papers strewn across his desk. He smoked, ignoring a no-smoking sign. "Want to be reasonable now?" he mocked. I activated my phone's recorder, hidden in my purse. "I'll drop the health complaint for moving costs and my deposit." Dimitri laughed. "You think you have leverage?" "I deal with complainers like you always." "How?" "Tenants whine about spots, dampness, coughing. Americans are weak," he said, puffing his cigarette. "The last tenant in your unit complained too." "What happened?" "She moved out," he shrugged. "She died, Dimitri." "Lung cancer, not my problem," he said. "People die. 4 tenants died of lung issues in 3 years." His cigarette froze. You've talked to others, to their families, I said. His eyes narrowed. Be careful. I have lawyers. I'll sue for harassment like you harassed them. I provide cheap housing for people nobody wants. Old, foreign, poor credit. They should be grateful for mold that killed them. Dimitri stubbed his cigarette. You prove nothing. Molds everywhere. People get sick. The inspector found toxic levels. Inspectors make mistakes, he smirked. I know judges, city council. Things get fixed. You bribe officials. I've been in business long. I know how this city works. I kept him talking, getting details on his intimidation tactics and city connections. After 20 minutes, I left, shaking but with damning evidence. Detective Ramirez reviewed the recording at the station. He admitted negligence and bribery, she said. We'll get warrants for his records and properties. What's next? We build a case to lock him up, she replied. Channel 7 aired Slumlord's Deadly Trail days later, interviewing me, families, and Vaughn. Dimitri's cursing at cameras went viral. More victims emerged. Tenants from unknown properties, sick ex-residents, families linking deaths to Dimitri's units. The DA launched a full investigation. The city inspected all 23 of Dimitri's properties, 47 units total. All had mold. 17 were dangerously toxic, 5 condemned. The death toll rose from 4 to 15 over 5 years. Dimitri tried fleeing to Moldova but was arrested at the airport with cash. His trial began 8 months later. I testified, presenting my recordings and photos. Families shared their losses. Prosecutors proved Dimitri ignored mold warnings to save money, bribed inspectors, and targeted vulnerable tenants. The defense claimed coincidence, but medical experts linked mold to fatal lung issues. The jury convicted Dimitri on 15 negligence counts, 3 manslaughter, 11 endangerment, and 7 bribery charges. He got 25 years. A civil lawsuit followed. Attorney Rhonda Blackwood filed a class action for victims. Discovery revealed Dimitri's emails mocking sick tenants, financials showing he skipped remediation to save money, and his own mold photos used to track complaints. The jury awarded $47 million, funded by selling Dimitri's properties. Crescent Avenue's basement sold for $180,000, Maple Street for $340,000. The city overhauled inspections, hired more staff, and passed the Kozlov law for mandatory mold tests and lease-breaking rights. 18 months later, I saw Patricia Montgomery moving a family into my old unit, now renovated as Montgomery House. Safe, affordable housing with regular inspections. 3 years on, I live in a well-maintained apartment. My lungs healed, though water stains spook me. Beatrice passed, but saw justice. Her granddaughter's now a tenant, writes lawyer. AI, Lynn's son, studies environmental health. David runs a free mold testing nonprofit. Vaughn leads a new safety division. I help tenants fight negligent landlords. Last month, I got a student out of an asbestos-filled lease. If I'd left quietly, Walter, Dolers, and Timothy might have lived, but some fights find you. I got angry, methodical, and gathered evidence. Dimitri thought I'd stay silent. He was wrong. Sometimes the system works. Documentation matters. Truth prevails. Justice is possible if you fight. A Seattle tenant called last week facing mold and a dismissive landlord. Document everything, I said. Photos, symptoms, records, don't let them silence you. Find other tenants. Speak together. Every fighter joins a movement. Housing shouldn't sicken you, landlords can't profit from pain, and everyone deserves clean air. Dimitri's legacy isn't his slums or victims. It's the advocates, laws, and protections he sparked. It's the fear in landlords' eyes, knowing someone like me might be watching, recording, and ready to bring them down. When told to be quiet, get louder. When told there's no problem, show the world. When told this is just life, show how it could be. When they try to make you a victim, become the witness who speaks for all. The truth always rises, no matter how deep it's buried.